Lesson 14. Defensive Fortifications. Fortifications and defenses for your own faction, or the enemy faction, come in 4 flavors of death. This excludes, as of this video's recording, howitzer artillery and bunkers, which I will cover later in the series, but they are equally as important and effective in a defensive situation, and the howitzer especially more so in an offensive role. The first fortification is the Eponymous Foxhole. It allows players to have good cover from enemy munitions while firing upon the enemy with one's equipped weapon from relative safety. The only extreme vulnerability to the entrenched soldier being, as with most emplacements, green ash gas grenades that suffocate the soldier within the fortification. If the foxhole is empty, in that another player's soldier is not currently occupying it, you may enter the foxhole by approaching it and pressing Q. Your soldier will now warp within the entrenchment. A foxhole allows the occupying soldier to shoot in any direction within a 360-degree arc. Just remember that it takes your character a moment to rotate to the desired position. Your point of aim is indicated by a red line when your character has not yet rotated to that position, or if your aim is blocked by an obstacle. When it is white, your character may fire in that desired direction. An upgraded version of the foxhole, known as the gun nest, may likewise be utilized. The advantages of the gun nest over the foxhole is that it provides superior automated defense, which will be covered a little bit later in this tutorial, and is more difficult to be destroyed by enemy armaments. When the gun nest is used as an automated defense, the AI soldiers within hurl grenades in addition to their gunfire at enemy soldiers. Since the gun nest is an upgraded version of the foxhole, built by logistics players using refined materials on foxholes, it too fires in a 360-degree arc. All fortifications may eventually be destroyed by any enemy, or sometimes friendly, munitions that are used upon them. However, the effectiveness of these varies greatly. Structures and fortifications are most susceptible to high explosive grenades, such as these, although I will not use this directly on our own allied fortifications. And they are least susceptible to small arms. For example, at the time of this tutorial's recording, a foxhole, like we do have over here, requires 3 high explosive grenades to be destroyed. We won't do it, but that's how many high explosive grenades it would take. Comparatively, it would take 51 rounds of small arms ammunition in order to be destroyed. The second fortification is that of the Pillbox, a stronger, more resilient defensive entrenchment, and additionally more costly to build, but has a limited firing arc of 180 degrees in front of it. When it is automated, it too has a faster firing rate that increases over time than either a foxhole or a gun nest. To enter it, as we did with the foxhole, approach it, and if it is unoccupied by another player, press Q and you will enter the fortification. We will now demonstrate the firing arc of the pillbox. As we can see, we can fire in 180 degrees. Behind us, the point of aim turns red and we cannot fire. Compared to a foxhole, the pillbox is certainly a more difficult pill to swallow. It requires 8 high explosive grenades to destroy, and approximately 450 small arm rounds, depending on the caliber. The third fortification for this tutorial is that of the gun turret. The gun turret is the main defensive emplacement against enemy armored units. The gun turret cannot be occupied by a player's soldier, and is fully automated as long as the emplacement can be automated, and we will cover this in but a moment. The gun turret will not target enemy infantry, only armor, and has a 360-degree rotation. Moreover, a handy tip for enemy armor players is that the gun turret has a longer attack range if it is fired upon by the enemy armor first, and a shorter attack range if it is initiated into combat via enemy armor proximity. The gun turret requires 5 high explosive grenades to be destroyed, or approximately 270 small arm rounds, depending upon their caliber. Additionally, Gun turrets are a higher tier of defense, meaning that logistics players use refined materials to construct them, much like a gun nest, whereas both a pillbox and a foxhole may be built using basic materials. The fourth and final fortification is the sunken pillbox, seen over here. It is also built using refined materials. Like the gun turret, it is a fully automated defense, and cannot be occupied by a player. The sunken pillbox takes a moment to rise when an enemy is within range, giving visual and oral feedback to an enemy player of its existence and a chance to beat a hasty retreat. It can fire its small arms in a 180-degree arc, like a normal pillbox, from its forward orientation. In its sunken, non-firing state, the sunken pillbox is incredibly and exceptionally resistant to all forms of damage, and requires several more high-explosive grenades, small arms rounds, and even howitzer or mortar rounds than a standard pillbox. In terms of function, we need to understand that fortifications exist in two states. The first is without automated AI control. We can go into a fortification and use it. And the second is with automated AI control. By default, if a fortification exists in the world, it may be entered by a soldier and used in combat, with the exception of the gun turret or the sunken pillbox. If, however, a faction's foxhole, its upgraded version a gun nest, a pillbox or sunken pillbox, or even a gun turret, is within range of 40 meters of their faction's nearest tunnel network, then that defense becomes active in its second state, being automated, manned by AI soldiers that automatically make the defense fire upon the enemy. As we can see in this example, all these defenses, this gun nest, the sunken pillbox, and these two gun turrets, as well as the gun nest over here, are connected to this tunnel network. This tunnel network, which we'll cover in a moment, is then connected to the active tunnel network system. All of these defenses are therefore automated or based on AI defense. As an important note, a tunnel network must be connected to an active tunnel network. This is a zone that extends 40 meters outside of any outpost or town hall. In this example, we have the outpost right over here. A tunnel network must be placed within this radius in order to function and allow for automated defenses to operate within an additional 40 meters of it. For example, this outpost broadcasts an active tunnel network range of 40 meters. This tunnel network is within range of that, and if we move further out, we will see just over here that there is another tunnel network indicating that this is within the 40 meters operational range of the outpost, and thus extending its own 40 meter range, or 40 meter operational active tunnel network range, further outwards. If the hatch of a tunnel network is closed, it is operational, and providing its own 40-meter effectiveness to all defensive structures within its range. If the tunnel network's hatch is open, then the tunnel network is not operational. Generally, this is due to it being outside of the town hall's or outpost's active tunnel network, and is likewise not providing any automation to defensive fortifications within its radius. It is also generally good to know that this is not often seen on the battlefield, as logistics players will always do their best to make sure that any new tunnel network is within range of the active tunnel network system. It is likewise important to know that the 40-meter ranges of these tunnel networks may be daisy-chained together into nodes to continue to extend the operational range of the active tunnel network system from either the outpost or a town hall. Lastly, a foxhole, gun nest, or pillbox which is occupied by an AI, being in an automated state of defense, can be overridden by the player, simply by approaching the fortification and pressing Q to enter it. The AI is then deactivated, and the player becomes the operator of the defense. Be careful abusing this class superiority, however. It may just lead to an AI rebellion and the ultimate doom of all humanity. Good luck, soldier, navigating the defensive fortifications that seek to drain you of all your blood and bones.